Alright, more collection before returning to the Tower of Spirits. In this video, I'm going to be doing a quest chain that leads to one of the quiver upgrades, and then I will be purchasing the other one in Goron Village. First of all, go back to Wellspring Station / Icy Spring and purchase a batch of Mega Ice for 50 rupees. The destination for this cargo is Papuchia / Papuzia Village, but it's kind of a long way there. The fastest way is to take the gate that is just to the east of Anuki Village, which will take us to the bottom middle of the Ocean Realm. Once you get back to Papuchia, you want to speak with the woman selling the fish, who would request ice if you spoke with her before this. Sweet! So this Force Gem creates a nice shortcut that would have been really nice earlier, but better late than never, right? So it connects a shortcut that we created previously from a Force Gem quest, but more importantly, it unlocks a new station, the Pirate Hideout. Some of these citizens in Papuchia talked about it as well, explaining that the pirates kidnap people. Oh no! Like how they tried to kidnap Carbon from us earlier in the game. Once you're done here, you want to set course for the hideout. So before moving forward, you want to use a bomb on the southern part of the wall here, and while waiting for that to explode, you can play the Song of Birds to make your way to the top of the platform itself, where you will find a stamp station. After that, you can hop down and enter the cave to find some chests containing treasure. So inside the cave here, we see a dude who was kidnapped from Papuchia. The mini-blins will patrol back and forth, and you can shoot them with your bow. Now, if you take too long, they will toss the cage at you, like they did when they were trying to catch Carbon earlier. Maybe they're trying to catch you now, even though you're attacking them. You will notice that there is a score at the bottom of the screen, but that doesn't really become important until later on in this video. For now, it doesn't really matter at all how poorly you aim or how badly you score, just ignore that. So you can just go all crazy on these guys and pretend like you have a machine gun and just tap like crazy. For this first part, I found that it's easier to simply aim straight and concentrate on your timing instead to hit them, but whatever works easier for you. For this minecart phase, there's really not much to be said. You just shoot all the enemies before they can toss a cage at you. Now, occasionally there is stone pillars that get in the way on the left and the right, which is an annoyance, but other than that, you should easily be able to pick them off before they take back their prisoner. In this last scene, we have a big Blinn at the end that will hit you with his club if you get too close. Now, the mini Blinns on the sides are just for extra points, so don't even worry about killing them unless you just really want to. Okay, so this dude with the funny mustache wants a ride back to Papuchia Village. Along the way, though, you will encounter a pirate ship battle, like usual. However, there is a bigger one among them, which is interesting, and it fights the same way as the others. The only difference is that it takes 4 hits to defeat rather than 2. Because of this, it is better to take out both of these smaller ships first, and then finish off the big one. Otherwise, you'll have, like, multiple projectiles you have to worry about, which makes it harder to not take damage and make your passenger angry. Sweet, more shortcuts! So there's even a gate along those northern tracks as well as another ocean rabbit. Yay! And we'll gather those in a bit, but first, let's watch the reunion of the dude with his beautiful woman. Well, that didn't work out so well for that guy, but at least he's back where he belongs. So now that he's been safely escorted home, we can now return to the Pirate's Hideout to find a pair of little Gorons are on the island, and one of them has been captured. Oh no! So you can play the minigame again, and each time, depending on how high you score, you'll get a better reward. And there's like actually 2 Gorons, and they just kind of switch which one's currently being captured, which is kind of strange. You'd think they learned their lesson, but whatever. Now, before you talk with them, though, you can enter the hideout itself and see mini Blinns sitting at the tables. I guess they're on coffee break or something. I mean, any moment here, a big Blinn is going to run in and say, "Alright, that's enough, back to work." So when you're done playing around, you want to go back outside and speak with the Goron to play the minigame. So this game plays just like it did when we were rescuing the dude earlier, just that now the point system actually means something. I don't understand why they didn't just have it hidden earlier, but anyway. Successfully hitting enemies will give you points, but if you hit consecutive enemies, meaning multiple enemies in a row, you will build up your combo and earn points. Because of this, it's very important to not miss, otherwise you will reset your combo. In other words, if you miss, you are losing a lot of potential points, and it will have made it as if you did not hit 3 or 4 of these guys at all. So it's kind of a big deal. So you want to just only hit, make sure you're being very careful in hitting everything. For this first phase, I find it much easier to simply aim straight ahead and focus on your timing instead of actually trying to aim all over the place. For this second phase, the mini-blins will get close and stay still for a moment before attacking. This means you can simply wait until they're close, making them much easier to hit. However, the sooner you hit them, the more often new mini-blins will appear, so there's like only a certain number of them on the screen at once, meaning that you can potentially get more points if you kill them as soon as possible and aim at them while they're on the upper screen. The catch with that is that it's obviously much more risky, and you really don't want to lose your combo, so by playing it safe and making every arrow count will get you far more points in the long run than flailing around wildly. It's much more important you'll probably make a lot more points in general if you just wait and be careful rather than trying to aim all over the place and missing. Also, obviously, it's important to watch out for these stone pillars all over the place because we don't want to hit them because that will mess up our combo. Of course, that's easy to forget when there's enemies all over the place. For this last scene, I recommend shooting straight ahead at the big blin initially, just until you're closer, and then you can switch to hitting the mini blins, and after they're dead, switch back to hitting the big blin. And of course, you want to still try to keep your combo going the whole time. If you miss, then you will lose points. Now, you should be able to do this pretty easily without messing up your combo, and once you get out, you will get a prize based on how well you scored. Now, the two things we're after is the quiver, for getting a score between 3,000 and 4,000 points, and the heart container for scoring 4,000 points or more. Now, you can stick around for longer and earn treasure, however, it's more worthwhile later when we have a different item that allows us to get higher scores. Now, I'm not going to talk more about that just yet, but at this point, it's super hard to get 5,000 points or more, but later we can do that without too much trouble. Now, the techniques to do that are a little different, and we don't have the option yet, so I will be returning here later on in the walkthrough to show how to do that. Now, the one cool thing about this minigame is that you can keep going at it for free, so anything you win here is just pure profit, so you can hang around here for a while and earn treasure if you like. But anyway, when you're all done here, then go ahead and leave. So hop back on the train, and it's time to activate that gate to the east. It leads to the forest realm, and we'll be heading there in a moment. Be sure to mark this end on your map, and then continue on to the right where you can hunt down an ocean rabbit.
Sweet.
So with that taken care of, our next destination is the trading post in the forest realm. The fastest way there is to back up. So take the gate that we just activated back into it, and you'll pop up on the other side and mark that end on your map as well. Afterwards, set course for the trading post. So at this point in the game, you probably have most, or even at least half of all the treasure you probably need to purchase any train parts you're maybe interested in. The train parts in general are optional, so you don't have to do any of that if you don't want to. Any treasure that you aren't going to use can be sold for rupees. So in the description of this video, I will have a link to the train parts guide on our website, so you can figure out which treasures you want to trade or hang on to. At this point, I actually have all of the treasure I need to purchase the golden train set, which is the rarest and most expensive one of them all. However, a lot of you following along probably don't have everything you need for that particular set because it's so expensive, and some of those parts are really rare. Now, the additional alchemy stones and regal rings and everything that I've been getting by having really high scores at some of the mini games that I've played thus far. And so you can do whatever you like, but I recommend selling enough unused treasure that you have at least 2,000 rupees. Now, I have more than enough treasure in general, so I'm just going to be spending a bunch of it here soon as well, so I'm just going to get close to my rupee limit, which is 9,999. So when you're done here, you want to return to your train, and along the way, I'm going to be picking up this letter from Nico, and now he's just letting us know about some hidden treasure chests in Aboda/Outset Village that I got earlier on in this walkthrough.
Hello, Link. How are your travels going? Are you collecting lots of stamps for me? I hope to see your smiling face back in Goron Village soon. Oh, and I was cleaning up the other day, and I found this old map. Why don't you check it out? You might find something interesting. Sincerely, your old pal, Nico.
Our final destination before returning to the Tower of Spirits is to go to Goron Village in the Fire Realm and spend some of that money. That's why I had us go to the trading post first. The fastest way to get there is to use the gate on the far western side of the Forest Realm. So one of my goals is to continually purchase treasure from Beetles so that I can rack up points on my card and eventually be able to purchase that heart container that he has for sale on the shelf in the back of his shop. Now, I haven't actually done it thus far because it's expensive, and although I have had enough money myself, I didn't want to count on a lot of you being able to do it, because it's outrageously expensive to do this, and we'll have to do a lot of back and forth to make it work, and this is probably the biggest optional grind in the game, outside of potentially buying at least one of every train piece, of course, if you wanted to do that. Anyway, you can follow along with me and get treasure from Beetle if you want, and then continue on towards Goron Village. Again, this whole heart container side quest thing is like super lengthy and you'll have to spend tons of money here, so you can only do this if you really want to. Our only task here is to go to the Goron Country Shop and buy the upgraded quiver. Now, you could have purchased this earlier on, just after the Fire Temple, but I didn't want to assume that people had that much money ready to go. Now, we got the other quiver earlier on in this video, and you can get them in either order, and the first one will upgrade your arrow limit from 20 to 30, and the second upgrade increases your limit to 50 arrows. Quite the jump. That's all we had to do here, so with all that collection stuff out of the way, go set course for the tower and join me for the next video where I will take you through the highest floors of the Tower of Spirits.